The mosquito, a name that conjures up itchy bites and that unmistakable high-pitched whine in the dark. These tiny insects, part of the fly family, are found almost everywhere, from Arctic tundra to tropical rainforests. With over 3,500 species, mosquitoes are marvels of adaptation, starting life as eggs on water, then wriggling larvae, and finally emerging as adults. Their early aquatic stages make them vital food for fish and other creatures. The female mosquito, infamous for her bite, needs blood to develop her eggs, while males feed peacefully on nectar, even helping pollinate plants. Mosquitoes are more than just pests. They're pollinators, prey, and a crucial link between aquatic and terrestrial food webs. They connect ponds to forests, fish to birds, and plants to animals. Understanding their complex role is key to imagining a world without them. They're both a source of irritation and a foundation of life for countless species. Mosquitoes are predators, prey, pollinators, and a bridge between worlds. Their story is more than just bites. It's about their place in the web of life. To consider a world without mosquitoes, we must first understand just how deeply they're woven into nature. Imagine a world where mosquitoes never evolved. In the Arctic, migratory birds would lack a critical food source, changing their patterns and perhaps the very makeup of northern skies. Caribou herds, no longer harassed by swarms, might graze differently, reshaping the tundra's vegetation and balance. Human history would be rewritten. Malaria, yellow fever, and dengue would never have plagued us, altering where people settled and how civilizations grew. The construction of projects like the Panama Canal and the spread of populations in the tropics would have faced fewer deadly obstacles. Science, too, would be different. The fight against mosquito-borne diseases has driven advances in medicine, genetics, and public health. Without mosquitoes, we might be less prepared for other disease threats, having never faced such a persistent adversary. The absence of mosquitoes would leave a void in nature and in the story of human resilience. Our scientific progress, shaped by the need to combat these insects, would have taken a different path. The world's ecosystems, and even our own ingenuity, owe much to the mosquitoes' presence. A world without them would be fundamentally altered, in ways both obvious and subtle. The mosquitoes' absence would echo through nature and history alike. What if every mosquito vanished today? For humans, the relief would be immediate. No more bites, no more malaria or Zika, and billions saved on repellents and nets. Outdoor life would become instantly more pleasant, especially in the tropics. But for nature, the shock would be severe. Birds, fish, bats, and insects that rely on mosquitoes for food would face starvation. Mosquito fish and dragonflies would lose a primary food source, and migratory birds like purple martins could see catastrophic breeding failures. The timing of migrations, evolved to match mosquito abundance, would be thrown into chaos. In ponds and wetlands, mosquito larvae that once filtered water and consumed organic matter would be gone, risking algal blooms and oxygen-depleted dead zones. The clarity and health of freshwater ecosystems would suffer. The sudden loss of mosquitoes would send shockwaves up the food chain. The silence left behind would be more than just the absence of a hum. It would be the loss of a keystone species. The world's balance would tip, and not in ways we might expect. The cost of their disappearance would be paid by countless creatures, not just us. Years after mosquitoes disappear, ecosystems would settle into a new, diminished normal. Birds, bats, and fish that depended on mosquitoes would decline or vanish, while other insects might fill the gap, but not perfectly. Some plants, especially Arctic orchids and wildflowers, would struggle without mosquito pollinators, risking extinction and affecting animals that rely on them. Caribou migrations would change, possibly leading to overgrazing and barren tundra, altering predator-prey dynamics. The rhythm of the Arctic, once driven by mosquito swarms, would be lost, making the ecosystem less dynamic. Globally, the flow of nutrients would be disrupted. Mosquitoes transfer energy from water to land, fertilizing terrestrial ecosystems. Trillions of mosquitoes emerging each year represent a massive nutrient bridge. Without them, both aquatic and land systems would be poorer. The loss would be subtle but profound, diminishing the productivity and richness of life on Earth. The web of life would be permanently altered, with fewer threads and less resilience. The absence of mosquitoes would echo for generations. Nature's balance would be forever changed. In a mosquito-free world, survival would favor the adaptable. Birds and fish with varied diets would thrive, while specialists might disappear. Generalist predators would expand, filling ecological gaps left by lost species. Some fish might evolve new feeding strategies, scraping algae or hunting different prey. Plants that relied on mosquitoes for pollination would face a crisis, but mutations attracting new pollinators could save them. Over generations, flowers might change shape, color, or scent to lure different insects. Bats and spiders would adapt their hunting techniques, targeting larger or different prey. Evolution would reshape behaviors and bodies, driven by the need to survive. The struggle would be intense, with many species failing to adapt. Yet life would persist, transformed by the absence of a tiny but powerful insect. The world's diversity might shrink, but nature's drive to adapt would continue. The mosquito's disappearance would spark a cascade of evolutionary change. Instead of imagining their absence, consider the mosquito's future. Mosquitoes are masters of adaptation, evolving resistance to insecticides and expanding into new territories as the climate warms. Warmer temperatures speed up their life cycles and allow them to thrive in places once too cold or dry. Some may shift their feeding habits, biting new hosts, including humans, if their preferred animals become scarce. This could create new disease threats as viruses jump to people. Genetic modification offers hope. Engineered mosquitoes could crash populations or block disease transmission. Human intervention may soon shape mosquito evolution as much as nature does. The future of mosquitoes is a story of adaptation, resilience, and ethical choices. Our actions will determine what kind of mosquito world we inherit. For humans, a world without mosquitoes seems like paradise. No more malaria, dengue, or Zika. Millions of lives would be saved, and the economies would flourish as disease burdens lift. Tourism and recreation would boom, and daily life would be more comfortable. Livestock would be healthier, and agriculture might benefit. But the collapse of ecosystems would have consequences for us too. Declining fish and bird populations would hurt industries and food supplies. Other pests might surge without natural predators, creating new problems for crops. Mosquito saliva contains chemicals with medical potential. Eradicating them could mean losing future cures. The loss of biodiversity is a loss of possibilities, both known and unknown. The mosquito's absence would bring gains, but also risks and missed opportunities. Our comfort could come at the cost of nature's balance, and our own future. The trade-offs are more complex than they first appear. Removing mosquitoes would unravel the fabric of countless ecosystems. Their extinction would disrupt food chains, causing a cascade of declines and extinctions. Mosquito larvae help keep aquatic habitats clean. Without them, water quality would suffer, and algal blooms could choke wetlands. These habitats, vital for biodiversity and water purification, would degrade. Mosquitoes are also pollinators, especially where other pollinators are scarce. Losing them would reduce plant diversity and alter entire plant communities. Every act of pollination, no matter how small, adds resilience to ecosystems. The loss of mosquitoes would silence a subtle but vital part of nature's chorus. The world would be less vibrant, less stable, and less diverse. It's easy to see mosquitoes as villains, but their value goes far beyond their nuisance. They're pollinators, food for birds and fish, water filters, and drivers of animal behavior. Their removal would be an ecological gamble with unpredictable consequences. Every species, even the annoying ones, has a role in the web of life. Our relationship with mosquitoes reflects our broader relationship with nature, often utilitarian, sometimes short-sighted. The health of the whole system depends on every part, even those we dislike. The question isn't just about eradicating mosquitoes, but about our wisdom and humility. Instead of elimination, perhaps we should focus on coexistence, managing disease, protecting predators, and preserving ecosystems. Every creature, even the humble mosquito, has its place in the world. The challenge is to find balance, honoring both human needs and nature's complexity.